to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, today we are going to talk about something that makes me very happy. Very happy. It is video games. Video games for the double pick. That means each one of my guests and myself, we bring two picks that we wish to discuss and wish to share with the audience, and the audience too. Also, you may participate. Please put your double pick in the chat and we will get to it at the end of the stream. Well, we are joined once again by the one, the only Timon.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, all the way from South America, joining us. And so far, Timon is our only guest because we have a myriad of disasters. We have a myriad of disasters, including sore throats, the need to sleep, if you're living in the
Sore
future.
throat and bad times.
Yeah. Yes. but you know what? I think that this is awesome, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm actually enjoying hanging out and hearing the different video games because I do know that we both have very different choices, and hopefully, maybe some of you in the chat as you come in, if you probably if you also wouldn't mind, give me a like, share, and a subscribe, or those of you watching the replay, thank you for being here, and maybe you can find some games that you would like to play. Well, we're going to kick off this party. We're going to kick off this party with Timon's first pick. And what, pray tell, is that?
Well, my first pick is Thousand Arms.
Mm-hmm.
It's a JRPG from the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 to me was uh, I would say was the best console because the amount of excellent games that we have from this era was uh, incredible. It was way the amount was way larger than every other generation. So this one is actually not that known uh, to the main uh, uh, the normies and to the regular gaming people. This is a very, how can I say, a secret treasure from the PlayStation era. This game, uh, even though this is my favorite game of all time, so much that my avatar uh, is taken from the game. I just tweak it a little bit in Paint just to give it a little bit of authenticity.
Uh-huh.
This one is as I said before, a JRPG, is a turn-based JRPG. The main story is we have this kind of steampunk world, and we have this organization of robots and cyborgs. Uh, they call the Dark Acolytes, and they are trying to uh, find and to steal five legendary sacred flames. The thing is with this game that the main protagonist with there is the guy with the goggles on his forehead. His name is Mice, and he's a blacksmith. And he somehow he gets chosen to find those sacred flames and basically save the world. The thing that really got me in this game, it was the first game that I ever played that the cutscenes have audio. It was dubbed, so they actually speak. It wasn't just a wall of text. And the one of the major point of the game is that you have kind of a mini dating sim. And as a blacksmith, you take the other members of your party's weapon, and you make them stronger, depending in what part of the game you are. And to make the weapons stronger, you have to have a girl present at the time you're forging the weapon. While she's praying, she's infusing the weapon with magic, and then you infuse the new stronger weapon with the magic of that girl.
Huh.
So if you don't get along with the girl, your weapon don't get stronger.
Oh, that sucks.
And yeah, but it's not that hard. It's not. It's it have that very anime feeling and that Japanese humor.
Hmm.
Uh, and is the actually the battle mechanics is kind of unique, because even though it's a turn-based JRPG, only as you're showing the picture, only only the character in the front row is the one that is attacking, and the other two in the back row, they are support characters. You can switch it up, but that's the main thing of the game.
Huh.
And you have a whole lot of uh, how can you say, strange characters in your party. Uh, as I said, the Mize is the main protagonist, the blacksmith. He has a sword. That guy, the big guy in the front there, he's a knight. He has a claymore, and every time that he tries to talk to one of the girls in the party, he froze up
Oh
and
no.
he can't say anything. Very very Japanese humor, but
Okay.
it's quite enjoyable. I like this game so much that the first time that I played, I beat the game with 19 hours of play.
Oh.
Is very short for JRPG,
Hmm.
and I immediately started a new game
Oh my gosh.
because I loved the game so much.
Well, that's the best kind, isn't it then? My gosh, where
Yes,
you just can't you just can't stop. I just can't quit you. Oh my. And I'm trying to get up another picture here. Here we go that you gave me. Um
that's the main protagonist is battling solo against a random enemy.
okay.
The funny thing that I discovered today was that this game was made by a company called Red Company that became Red Entertainment. That was the It was sold twice, and then right now is owned by Oizumi Corporation. Then I tried to get some knowledge on this corporation, and I found out that it's uh, Oizumi is a town in Japan with a really big Brazilian concentration.
Oh my gosh. Imagine that.
Find that really odd.
Well, you're definitely well, you're the target audience, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fun. Now, this particular game, you said it was a PlayStation game. Is it available anywhere else, or like on any other
No.
format, or how? Like, if
Only
anyone wants to watch that, sorry, go ahead.
only you can probably get an PlayStation emulator and download a ROM, but only on PlayStation. I'm trying actually to buy a physical copy of this, but it's being quite hard. It's not like it's not a Final Fantasy. It's not a Wild Arms. It's a really obscure
Huh?
game. but
Okay.
it's amazing. If I could, if I had uh, like Tesla money, and that kind of thing, I would buy the properties, the IP. I would do something with it. Fucking love this game.
Hey, well, that would be something worthwhile. I mean, we got all these billionaires like taking people into outer space and stuff. Like, screw that. Let's go ahead and bring some of these IPs back. That would be loads of fun. Yeah. Well, that's really cool. And welcome everyone coming into the chat right now. Welcome everyone coming into the chat. I do see you. So good to see you. We have Mr. Brown Alliance. We have Keck44. We have Brightest Day. Hello. We have Ara. And I think I got all of you. And if I missed you, mea maxima culpa, mea maxima culpa. But please feel free to go ahead and put your double pick in the chat, and I will star it for us to discuss afterwards. So, yeah, from what I understand, Timon, this genre of these kind of role playing games, where you would have to like almost type in things that were going on, wasn't it? And it really,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, this is a more modern type of it's not RPG in the sense of like in the old days, the book ones, the
Hmm.
type your adventure, not like that. Is a story. Your is not as Steve would say, is not a full RPG,
Hmm.
but to be honest, you will never have a real true RPG in a uh, any computer or console, because the amount of uh, choice, amount of freedom requires a lot of computational power, and you will never have that. You will have to have a truly free RPG. You will have to own those type of computers that calculates the weather type of thing,
Uh,
because the you won't, and you will also um, how can I say, it will be a trade-off. You will those type of RPGs like the Western RPGs that have, they give you freedom to go wherever, do whatever, and if you don't do the have skill, you will die and start all over. Those
mhm.
types of things, you is a trade-off in with the story. You will never have a meaningful story with those kinds of games.
Okay.
This is you have a story, your character, you role play
Mhm.
as this character as the main character, but you will follow that story. How do you follow that story? Of like, oh, you grind this part, so you have the this stronger ability, so you can fight the next boss more easily, or something like that.
Mhm.
Or maybe you want to do a little bit of side quest before you return to the main story. That is the main RPGs of console RPGs since the 90s.
Okay. All right. Well, this I would be a liar if I said I knew a lot about this. I really don't. I know that one of these games that Dan Blackbird suggested that we will get to is my mother's favorite game. My mother used to play a lot of these back
Let
in
me
the day.
guess, Metal Gear Solid.
No, it's the other one. It's the other one. But everyone was playing that. And yes, thank you, Dan. Thank you for taking care of the Russians for me. Mod with the most. I definitely do appreciate you. And yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But I'm going to go ahead and go on then to my first pick of the double pick. It is not a role playing game or a blast from the 90s, but it is the great, the masterful, the paralleled the game that I have played for 200,000 million days and hours, and for which I got every single achievement. Skyrim! I love this
Sky,
game more than life
which
itself.
version?
Well, I've gotten all the versions. When I did get it, guess who, suggested it and who I listened to? He told me to get Skyrim what was it? Not the special. Was it the special edition? I believe it was the special edition. That's where you had all of the expansion packs and all the updated things up to that time. And then yes, right now, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna wait. It's gone. Okay. We have the anniversary. Sorry. Okay. We had the anniversary edition right now, and I did go ahead and get the upgrade to it because I am more addicted to it than people who are addicted to crack cocaine. So, first of all, I did not have an Xbox. I didn't have anything. The only thing I had for playing video games was my old little Nintendo thing that they came up with several years ago where it had all the Nintendo games on this little thing that you would plug into your TV with an HDMI. And then I was told, well, why don't you get an Xbox? And he told me which one. Steve told me which one. And he also told me about how it would have Blu-rays and all that. And I did not have a Blu-ray player. And he said Skyrim would be a game that I think you would like. So I did, and holy crap! I mean, I'm still playing it. I'm thinking that everybody in here knows what Skyrim Skyrim is, and apparently,
Skyrim was released on Xbox, PlayStation. I believe there is a Nintendo, one of the Nintendo that
mhm.
released it. Also, refrigerators, microwaves, everything had a version of Skyrim.
I know. It was ridiculous, and I was sitting there with my family, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm supposed to get this game called Skyrim, and everyone, my niece and everyone was like, Skyrim? It's like, yeah, we played it. We've been playing it for 10 years. And I'm like, oh, I guess I really was behind. No, but I love this game. I guess people characterize it as an open world game. You get to
Yes.
choose your own character, and I always choose a very girly girl, make her all up. I take forever, getting all the right makeup and getting the hair and everything. I play all the different races and all different peoples, and you're this dragonborn character that has this power or something, and you can absorb dragon souls, and you're the only one who can save the entire world of Skyrim from this bad dragon Alduin from coming back, and you defeat him. But there's so many other fun things about this game that I love so much. The different cities, the whole medieval part of it, and it's a whole world. Like you go to one area and it's kind of all stone and rock, where Markoth is, and then you go up to Solitude, which is the capital. It's very Romanish, and they've got Windhelm, they've got Winterhold, where the wizard school is, and Riften, which is by a bunch of fishing areas, and you have many different side quests, like the Dark Brotherhood that I like, where you become an assassin. And I also like to play that because you get a lot of money if you do that one
Mhm.
quickly, and you get the horse that it doesn't die. Because I'm notorious for killing horses when I play this game. I just get them killed. I either like drive them off a cliff, or a wolf will come and get them. There's also a thieves guild. There's a bard school you can go to, all sorts of things. And then you build your own mansions, and you can also buy your own mansions, and you can get married and adopt children. do all sorts of things. It can be an alchemist. The only part of it that I haven't done too much has been the spells. I don't use a lot of the spells too much. That's one area I haven't yet explored. Oh, and you can also become a werewolf. I did become a werewolf just to get the achievements. So yeah, you go around and you're this big wolf and you just kill people, and then it's always horrible. Then you eat their flesh and get some extra power. Or you can be a vampire. So I did the whole vampire lord thing, and it's just like being a vampire. You have to feed on humans, and you can't be out in the sunlight. And if you become a vampire lord, you also go around killing people and drinking their blood when you kill them. So there's so many different options, and I think that perhaps that's why I keep playing it so much, is because there's so many different options. Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown Alliance. Thank you, Mr. Brown Alliance. Yeah, 123. Yeah, that's why we're missing our Norwegian right now. He he hit the hay sooner than you. Sooner than you. Dan Blackwright says, I used to play Skyrim, then I took an arrow in the Oh, Bone. Oh, yeah. Welcome, Bone. And remember, everyone, don't forget to put your double pick in the audience. I mean, in the chat, rather. And I will start for us to discuss when we are done. Bone says, I like the Argonians because they can breathe underwater. Yes, yes. So, because, yes, if you don't have water breathing potions, you can actually drown. And that sucks. That really does.
Hmm.
And you can make your Argonian pretty. And I have. You put little ribbons in the hair and all that. So you can make a pretty Argonian. There are also some mods you can use. The mod I liked the best is the one that you don't really have to use the lock picks. You just basically push a button and it works. Also, I use an enhanced map. I use a rich merchants mod, so they don't run out of money. The merchants don't run out of money, and you can also start off the game with a special cache of money. So you start off with 50,000 gold. But just like with all mods, if you do that, then the achievements are disabled. Now we got some animals. We love our animals here in Miss Martin Muses. We have a cat and we have a dog, and he's just say woof woof arf arf bark bark. Okay, well, welcome.
The Western RPGs like Skyrim, like Kingdom of Amalur, what else? They the main focus of them are the world building, the experience, the things that you do, more than the story itself. Because I never have seen people talking about Skyrim or Kingdom of Amalur of the uh, it was a PlayStation freebie that I tried also with the dragon story.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they never they always say, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that. I can be an elf with a bow. I can be a wizard," but they never say something like, "Oh, that part of the story where the ruler killed someone from a party or something like that." It was never in that was the main thing that always keep me apart from the Western RPGs.
Good point. Good point. I've heard people say that about Skyrim, and that ultimately you don't really have a lot of choices. Like no matter what happens, the story will always go the way it's supposed to go. Yeah. Though I will say about Skyrim, some of the twists in the stories of the side quests, like the companions, I liked some of those twists. I don't know if it's a spoiler since it's been for 12 years, but the way that the quest unfolded and one person turned out to be a traitor, I thought there were a few plots and twists, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It's more about the other cool part. Oh my gosh. So you've done that too? Dan Blackwright says the best part was disappointing all the orphans. So that means you never adopted one, eh? I actually started to only adopt the kids that I would find in the cities because you can adopt. There's some little flower girl in Windhelm, and I think I find it very Dickinsonian that there's a little orphan flower girl freezing and being unhappy and who lost her parents, so I always adopt her. Oh, I like the serial killer story that is in Windhelm. The blood on the ice. That's a good one because serial killer. It's like why not? You help catch a serial killer, but again, the story happens no matter what. And I frequently, well, actually, I never go off of easy mode, and I don't care. I am not ashamed. I play on easy mode because I am a wimp. But the new version has a survival mode you can do. And I might try that sometime. But I don't know if I can have the courage to go up harder.
Yeah,
Hound 3.
I never play on easy. Neither on I've only played on hard on the on a series of RPGs that I play on the PS4 and PS3, the Legends of Heroes. I only play on hard because to platinum them you have to play in every difficulty, um,
Okay.
and you don't have an easy one. You have normal, you have the a little bit harder, and you have the super hard. But the thing
Okay.
is, when you finish the first time, you carry all your items, your abilities to the second times, so you can play hard on the hard difficulty with a really power up uh, party. So it's not that hard.
Okay. Well, cool. All right. I'm still too chicken for that, though. Boom says, I drag dead bodies to my doorstep and use them as doormats. Well, sometimes you might get a bug where someone you marry like won't stay at the house. They'll like automatically go back to where they came from. I think it's a bug. So the
The
first,
divorce bug.
yeah, the divorce bug. Well, the first time I played, it was Vilcus from the Companions, and he just kept disappearing. And I thought, okay, he's dead maybe because I couldn't find him at the Companions either. Then one day he shows up at the house, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna kill him. He abandoned me, just ran off. So I had him follow me out to the lake and just killed him in cold blood and then dragged his body into the water. That's what I did with my first husband. Hound says the Companion's questline is not as good as the Fighters Guild from Oblivion, though. I have heard that. Yes, speaking of something I do not have the courage to play, I've heard that some of those are very difficult. They're very difficult, but I have heard about that Oblivion, and and also that they seem to have more choices. I think that Skyrim is simplified. That's what some have told me that kind of is for wimps. But I'm okay with being wimp. Look at me. I'm a rose. I can be a wilting flower. Dan Blackroyd said, Giants would always spawn right next to my house in the woods and kill my cow. Yes! Always! They kill your friggin' cow. And they kill your chicken, too. I mean, that can happen. It's like, son of a... Dan Blackroyd says, I throw fireballs at them from the house deck. Oh, that would be fun. I've never tried doing that. Yeah, I like throwing fireballs. That's also one of the other spells I do. I do the fireballs and the healings. Yes. Oh, and the soul spell where you can refill your soul gem. I do that. You killed Lydia? Wait a second, Keck. How could you, sir? How could you? Lydia is the most loyal servant of all. Oh my gosh. He killed Lydia. There is a mod that you can get called Enhanced Lydia, where Lydia is dressed really sexy.
Oh,
Um,
every game has one mod of those.
no, okay. And there's a clothing mod you can get where you can make your own clothes. Like every item of clothing you can create yourself, and it also includes some really sexy kind of lingerie. That's not with the original one. Yeah, you can make for your character. I have for fun when I was playing the cat. I said, "What is? Will the cat look sexy in the lingerie?" And no, the cat looked completely wrong in the lingerie, and so did the Argonian. It just wasn't working. You see, well, look what Hound says. How could you? She's very huggable. Yes, she is. Jacob Ironstein says, I'm not much a video game player. As an artist, I do enjoy the concept art from video games. Yes. Okay, Ancient One's going to judge you, Keck. Oh no, Ancient Keck 44 not only killed Lydia, he hired sick, demented necromancer to do evil things to our other humanity. What shall we do? Oh, well, that escalated quickly. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Yeah, no one likes anyone that kills Lydia. Keck says, I turned around and she was dead. I'm innocent. Honest. Uh huh. No, we know what you did. You killed her in cold blood. You're the only person I know that has actually killed Lydia. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, Jacob, what you said reminded me about not the art, but the music. Holy crap, the music for all of the Elder Scrolls. Oh, it is amazing. And the dragon theme from this, the one that is amazing. And of course the whole general Elder Scrolls theme and the songs, the Dragonborn songs, all of them, they are so good. Yeah, so great music for this and great fun. I'm waiting for them to come out with another Older Scrolls one, but it might be sometime before I'm 90. I don't know. They seem to be taking forever.
Yeah, just
Uh,
like the uh, oh my god, I'm blanking today or tonight. Uh,
uh,
the Grand Theft Auto, just after 10 years of 10 or 15 years, they're going to release to start making a new one from the
oh,
5 to 6. Same thing with the Elder Scrolls.
oh, well, there you are. You heard it here first. I mean, it's been so long that it's starting to turn into worse than the Winds of Winter for George
Yeah,
Martin.
the which developers owns Elder Scrolls?
Starts with a B. Dagnabbit. What is
Bethesda.
Bethesda? Thank you, Bethesda. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, they like most of the Western gaming companies. They are focused on multiplayer and microtransactions and those types of things that don't make game enjoyable. So yeah, they tend to uh, focus on those types of games.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all they think about are dollar signs. Jim Blackroyd says the first time you see giants and mammoths in game is a thrill. Oh yeah, the visuals are awesome. Yeah, and I love the mammoths. I feel bad when I have to kill them.
though well, I don't know about the remaster or remake or special edition, but when Skyrim was out, all I've heard was, "Oh, this game is gorgeous," and I can see it being the landscape being pretty, but the characters I found them to be quite ugly.
Okay. Well, they look better than the weirdos from that other one. Which one's the one where they really look bad? It it might have been I forget what it was. The one that had Patrick Stewart in it. those people really, they had like these big weird looking noses. Yeah, but I can see what you're saying. Dan Blackbird says that's a swift walk in the opposite direction until you fly. Okay. Oh, well, that's all I've really got to say about Skyrim. Loads of fun. I'm still playing Oblivion. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oblivion. Yeah, they're butt ugly. I mean, they are ugly. They look like Cabbage Patch dolls. I swear, that's how bad. Yeah, I mean, it's like what the hell? What the hell did they do? Bone says, first time I saw a frost giant in Skyrim, I thought it was a statue because it wasn't moving, but thanks to Let's Play Quizzy. Oh, yeah, they will kick your ass, especially if you're not far along in your leveling up. Yeah. I have had many moments of rage playing this game. I used to get lost a lot in the dungeons, and I'd be so
I
mad.
I know the feeling. The
Yeah.
Thousand Arms was my favorite game and was released on PS1. And my most hated game was also released on the PS1. Was called the Beyond the Beyond. It's also a JRPG, but it's a really crappy made. You, I rage quit this game after I came to a part in the game where you have to grind a little bit so that you didn't take as much damage from the normal enemies in the area, but they give you so much damage that and so little money after you defeat them that your money would literally slowly spend getting spent on any medicine or any item of to cure to get your HP back. That at a one point you're almost dead, you have no money, and you can move forward because the game is unbalanced, and even if you kill a lot of the enemies around, you're not going to level up as quick.
Hmm.
And that I really hate that game.
Yeah, so you know the rage. You know the rage. Well, we have had
Yeah.
some people come in. Hello, it is Happy Dinosaur. Thank you, Happy Dinosaur. Always good to see you. And our sick absent guest. Yeah, sorry he couldn't be a part of it. Yes, he's not feeling well, but it's good that you're resting the voice and good that you are here. And remember, everyone can participate in the double pick. Please put your double pick in the chat and we will be going through those once we've presented all of ours. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move on and I'm going to get it set up here. Let me get rid of my banner for Timon's second pick of the double pick. And what, pray tell, is it, sir?
So for the first pick, I pick an old game, but not that old.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm picking a new game, but not that new.
Okay.
Uh, I picked the franchise Ratchet and Clank.
Here we go. Ratchet and Clank. Well, tell us about it.
Uh, it's a adventure platformer with some third-person shooter. The thing is, I first time that I played this was in the PS3,
Mm-hmm.
and I since the PS3 was really lacking in JRPGs, which are my thing, I started to grab some in the bargain bin some games, and I discovered this one was the one of the PlayStation 3 that I discovered that I really enjoyed. Um, the first game on this franchise was released on 2002 on the PS2, and uh, on the main storyline has been, let me see, maybe nine games so far.
Okay.
The thing is with this game is also It's not of the most original story, but it's fun. Is most of the time it's a space type of game, and most of the time is something is threatening the galaxy of destruction, dominion, of whatever. And Ratchet and Clank, the Ratchet is the Lombax, a type of kind of a mix of a rabbit, of a raccoon, of or something that you find in Australia,
Oh.
and Clank, which is a tiny robot. The thing that I most adore about this franchise is that the weapons, they are not conventional. We have the humor on the game. They really went through with the weapons. For example, you have one weapon called the Groovy Tron. It's like a disco ball bomb that when you throw it, it rises up in the air and start to play music, and the enemies start to to dance to it. And then
That's
you
cute.
can, while they are dancing, you can take another weapon and blast them off. You have the Shipinator that transforms your enemy into ships. You have the Winterizer. You transform your enemies into winter related stuff like a snowman, Christmas tree, a present. You have Nightmare in a Box, that is a Jack in a Box bomb, a mine that when the enemy goes near it, uh, a Jack in a Box, he sprang out and scared the enemy shitless.
Oh no.
But my favorite is a shotgun made out of a frog.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, the you load the weapon with the frog. He doing those frog noises when the his neck uh, inflates, and then while when the shotgun is loaded, you let the croak of the frog kills your enemy. It's
Holy
really
crud.
fun. It's really fun, and they also have fun with the names of the games. Like the first one is Ratchet and Clank. The sequel is Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. The next one is also Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
Oh,
Then yeah,
that's
then is
cute.
Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, A Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, and then in 2016 in the PS4 we have a sort of reboot that they released the game in the same frame time as the movie. So in the game, you have like a little bit of in the beginning. Oh, is the this is the game about the movie about the game. They is really meta. They break the fourth wall constantly. It's really funny.
Huh. Well, cool. Well,
You
I
should try
love
it.
those. I love those names and titles. Those are fun. We love puns here at Miss Martin Muses. Yes, we do. So,
It also have a weapon that is a drone that helps you, and while you're shooting at one side, the the drone it is called Mr. Zircon. He keeps shooting at the others, the other enemies that are around you, and while he do that, he's making fun of you for being wimpy, and you have to call him to assist. So And also, yeah, Mr. Zircon brings you death, and he keeps making fun of the enemies as well.
Huh. Those all sound really clever. Now my question for you, since I have no clue, is this hard to play?
No, I
Okay.
didn't think so. Of course, if you want to platinum the thing, you will have to play a lot, but it's not that hard. Even the PS4 one, uh, I beat it with no much effort. Yes, the hard difficulties is they
Okay.
are they are
Yeah.
quite
Okay.
quite a
Well, and
challenge.
I will always play on the easiest, so I have no worries there.
But it's fun. It's not once you learn the main controls. It's not that hard. It's the games is not about. It's not that much about ability, but it's about having fun.
Okay. Well, there we go. There we go. And I just want to remind all of you that have been popping in, don't forget to put your double pick in the chat. And Biggles, if you want to put your Twitch in the chat, your link, I made you a mod. So if you're more than welcome to do that. And I know many of you actually do play a lot of these video games on Twitch. So see, Biggle says the PS5 has a girl Lombax named Rivet, and she is a blast. You know
Yes,
anything about that? Because I don't know these people.
I haven't played that. I mean, it's the first thing when I get a PS5 is the first thing that would be on my list is to play Hatching Clank.
Okay. Well, there we are. Okay. Well, cool. Biggle said I streamed Ratchet and Clank when the PS5 one came out. Oh, well, there we are. Yeah, and watching a lot of these folks, friends of the channel, play these things on Twitch. It's fun because I love interacting with the people, but also it's a great way to get to know the games too. You might get some spoilers, but seeing them go through it, it's like a tutorial for people like me. Okay, the Poke Duo, welcome, Miss Martin Muses. He says, the Ancient One sent me here, thought I'd step by and say hello. Well, hello, I am so happy you are here. Please check out my channel, like, share, and subscribe if you would like. And please, if you wish, share in the chat 2 of your picks. Just, it doesn't even have to be your favorite. It doesn't have to be your favorite video games, but just 2 video games that you think are interesting and that you would like to share with the chat and with my panel. Welcome. And thank you, Ancient One. You're such a great support for everyone. Uh, Ancient One's like Forrest Gump. He's everywhere you go. He's everywhere modding and helping people out. So we definitely appreciate Ancient One and all of our other mods and our chat and everyone. I actually put a thing out today on my Twitter. It's a quote from Pride and Prejudice when Mr. Darcy tells Elizabeth, I must let you know how ardently I admire and love you. And I said that as an appreciation to all my subs and my viewers and followers. And I think maybe I don't have a lot of girly girls that follow me because no one seemed to notice the quote. It's a very famous quote from Pride and Prejudice, but that's okay. Maybe one of these days I'll do a double pick and it'll be girls' night and it'll be like Bonnet movies. Um, I don't know, Timon, if you've ever seen a Bonnet movie or if you care to.
If it's a drama of romantic drama, no, that's not my thing.
Okay, yeah, and the nickname Bonnet movies. It was actually a man that radio personality that gave it because yeah, they're those things that we chicks like to watch, and yes, they're romance and they're dramas, but they're always set like in the 1800s, and all the girls are wearing bonnets because it's a bonnet movie. It's not just a
Oh,
romance; it's
mhm.
bonnets and lace and it's usually set in England and there's lords and ladies and all of that snobby stuff that we love. Yeah. So, but not tonight. Yeah. So I said, I think I'm gonna have to. I'll be sexist to say I think I'm gonna have to draw from the lady side of the pool, because the only guys I know that watch them are the ones that are actually very smart, and they'll watch it with their girlfriends. Like, okay, honey, we'll watch Pride and Prejudice rather, and then they'll be guaranteed to get laid because all they then have to do is be like, "Oh, my darling," and because the women are in the mood after. Let me put it to you that way. Just talk to her in a British accent, and or as I sometimes say, tell a man, watch Pride and Prejudice and take notes. Take notes.
The closest to it that I watch is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Now that almost counts because they actually took dialogue from the book, and you can even see when it's like Pride and Prejudice playing, and then when they just then throw in a zombie. But well done, well done. So you know what the bonnet thing is because the chicks are wearing bonnets, and ringlets and all that. Most of them are Jane Austen, but not always. You've got Jane Austen, you've got Charlotte Bronte, you got Jane Eyre, you got Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, but also the one by Elizabeth Gaskell that counts as well. And the guys are always really good looking. They're always wearing suits, and they're always really rich, really rich. Yes. Oh, Jacob. Yeah, you've watched Pride and Prejudice, and you've taken notes, dearest, sweetest Elizabeth. Though technically it's dearest, loveliest Elizabeth, but that's close enough. You win points for that. Biggle says, "So you want me to watch a lady movie?" Yeah. And Downton Abbey almost counts. Downton Abbey almost counts. All right. Well, anything else you want to say before we move on to my final pick of the double pick, Timon?
No, let's go.
Okay. All right. But before I do, Keck, you can tell that Keck mods a lot on my channel. Girls' Night, Faramir, Momoa, and Cavill. Yes. In that order. Yes. That's what. Yes. Bigglesmet says, "If you watch me movies much that are free, I will watch." Oh, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. I'll give you a list. And you can look and see. Most of them are available on streaming services.
But you cannot look at your phone while watching. You have to be focused on the freaking screen.
Yes. Oh, look who it is. It is Steve Kenobi to Steve Kenobi. Hello, Steve. Hello, Teresa and Timon. Well, hello.
Someone fell out of the bed.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yes. Yeah, we've already had our double picks. Well, I've gone through my first pick, which was Skyrim, and Timon. Actually, I'm going to need your help, Timon, because these are things I don't know. Ratchet and Clank, and Thousand Nights.
Thousand Arms.
Oops, I'm sorry. Thousand Nights. That's a whole different kind of genre. Someone messed it up by mentioning Jason Momoa. Okay, Thousand Arms. Yeah. So, and a lot of the chat's been enjoying these, and they actually know a lot of these video games. So I'm a bit of a newbie. I'm a bit of a normie with these. So thank you for being here. And I heard it. You got a lot of motorcycles there in Brazil, don't you?
Yeah, the thing is, I live on a street that in the last 20 years became a main way to connect a part of the town to another. So I used to play football in the streets when I was young. So there was almost no cars. And now to get to a part of the town, the quickest way is through my street. Mm-hmm. So all these motorcycle are like Uber Eats. We have a regional company called iFood.
Oh,
so
okay.
anytime in the night is those, and my window is facing the street. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot of noise.
Yep. Okay, I'm sorry. I just read this. What the hell even is this, Steeg? Ratchet and Wank 1000 Well, you butchered it almost as much as I did. I'm a visual person. I'm a visual person. I'm a visual learner. Oh dear. Okay. Oh yeah, we were going to go to my second choice. My double pick, and I actually have a little thing to share. I was able to work that out. My double pick is my second pick rather is a game that was really big when I was a teenager. It came out right when the summer break started. So I spent my entire summer break beating this game, and it is Super Mario Brothers 2. I loved Super Mario Brothers 2. It
Wow,
yeah.
this one.
Yeah, the second one. The other ones I played the first one all that, but this is the one that I loved, and this is the one that I still go back to and play all the time with my SNES thing. Yes, I like. Well, you get to have a choice of the character that you played, and I always like to be the princess. At first, I chose to be the princess because princess, because girl,
Yes,
but it turned out that she also had. A,
glides.
oh wait, what'd you say?
She glides, wasn't she?
Yeah, she flies. Yeah, yes,
Yeah, she
she
falls slowly. If
yeah,
I'm not.
yeah, it's more like she sustains, if that is a uh a correct way of looking at it. Yeah. And so far more than the other characters, it's also something very practical to have her. And um so you can like get across different chasms and stuff a lot easier. This is a platform game. This is a platform game, and here on this, it's showing Super Mario Brothers, and it's loads of fun. And I liked this one better than the first one for a lot of the reasons that I just said. That I liked being the sustained character, but also it. How do I describe it? It didn't seem as manic as the first one. I don't know. And the first one, it was like you were just bouncing and jumping and doing all sorts of weird stuff. But this one, I just always felt like I had a lot of more control. And I liked the way it ended. I liked the way I was able to kill the character, the dude. And, or maybe deep down, I really loved it because maybe it was a bit easier than the first one. I found it was easier and a little less frustrating. But either way, love it, love it, love it. It was loads of fun for me. Did you play the Mario Brothers games?
Yes, I used to have. I started to make things easier to how my gamer life began. The first console that I have had was in what you will call an Atari 2600,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Um, but here in Brazil in the 80s, copyright wasn't like something that held too closely. Um, so it was like an Atari, but it wasn't. So
I
I
gotcha.
had, yeah, I had the most common games like River Raid, Enduro, Box. Um, uh, Not the most enticing games. Then in the 90s, my dad bought us uh, Super Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
and with it, it came a cartridge of called Super Mario All Stars. It had Super Mario 1, Super Mario 2, and Super Mario 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I played all three. To me, my favorite is Super Mario 3. I've
Oh,
I like it way better. Super Mario 2 was to me was a little bit like because uh, it was a platformer, but it was not a side scroller. Instead, it go always go up instead to the side.
yes. And maybe that's why I liked it better than the other one.
Yeah, at some point where you have to jump on a lot of clouds and stuff, and you will fall a lot, and you fall to the to the previous screen, and I thought that was so frustrating.
Oh.
I finished the game, but to me, Super Mario 2 was really frustrating.
Oh, wow. Well, I find that interesting, just the way I guess different strokes for different folks. It just depends.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, hello, Budget Gaming. Thank you for being here. Speaking of
and
budget gaming, we were talking about cheap knockoffs. Not that you're not that that's it, but it's definitely if you're on a budget and when before piracy laws were what they were, it was easier to.
yeah, and like Biggles is saying in the chat, Super Mario 2 was actually not a Super Mario game.
Oh,
It was another type of game that they simply put the Super Mario name and change the some of the characters to so it can release in this in West, I believe.
oh.
Yes,
Well, there you go. And of course, I'll butcher the name, but the game was Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic. Wow. And then
because
we ate it up like with a spoon, didn't we?
yeah, be- and you can kind of see it because Super Mario 1 and Super Mario 3 have like a similar game mechanics, while the Super Mario 2 has whole lot of things that you can do that didn't go on with the franchise, like ripping a turnip out of the ground, uh, grabbing an enemy, and then from uh, any enemy from its head and throwing it some other enemy. So some of the weird gaming history.
Wow. Well, the more you know, the more you know. And this is why I love getting to chat, especially in something like this, because I just flat out say it. You all know, and my panelists know so much more than I do about these, and I learned so much.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
most of the kids that I know, kids, the people my age, that when we were kids, that when in the especially since the Super Nintendo era, about about the PlayStation 2,
mhm.
we have the gaming magazines, and most of us learn anything from everything that we know from the gaming world with those magazines, like Nintendo Power, electronic uh, EGM, electronic gaming monthly.
Yeah, I remember
um,
those. I
yeah,
remember the Nintendo Powered. Yeah, for sure.
we also have PlayStation magazine.
Hmm.
If they always have the quirky thing of, oh, this, like, PlayStation was not up to be, when it was created, it was not to be a Sony console. It was actually the successor of the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo was not going to originally to launch the Nintendo 64. It was first to be uh, developer to develop the console together with Sony.
Hmm.
Nintendo back out, and Sony looked at what the prototype and thought, well, we got this, it's already done. Let's release it.
Hmm.
And then Nintendo did the worst, one of the worst decisions ever. The Sony released the PlayStation, and to be the biggest selling console to that point, and Nintendo 64. Wow, it was somewhat a successful console. Wasn't that successful because of uh, Sony already went to the CD for
Hmm.
its game. Nintendo stick to the cartridge that was more expensive. So the the PlayStation was way cheaper, at least in my neck of the wood, than the Nintendo 64.
Oh,
Only rich kid had the Nintendo 64 here.
oh my goodness gracious! Well,
Nintendo was
wow.
never really kind to the South Americans
Oh,
because yeah, they most of the time they import their console and their game. So while Microsoft and Sony they manufacture the consoles and they print the CD here, the CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray here. Nintendo never did that, so Nintendo games were always really expensive here, and they never go on sale. So while the Nintendo was like a big shot in the 90s with the Super Nintendo, every console since they is only for Nintendo fans and Nintendo fans that have a lot of money.
ah, well, wow. I mean, the more you know, I love it. I like having this information. This is really cool. And yeah, Steek says he. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, oh gosh, I cursed. Sorry. Well, you know what? I've almost given up. I've lost my dignity there. Yeah, Steek says he can pop on, so he can give us maybe his double picks. So I just sent the link to you, Steek. You can go ahead and pop on if you like. I did want to say back. I did star a question. I'll answer this while we're waiting for Steek to come. Is here it is. Jacob said, Teresa, have you ever seen Lost in Austin? The answer is yes. 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 And oh hell yes, I did. Yes. It's about a woman who like travels to meet Mr. Darcy and all this stuff. It's very good, it's very silly, and it's very ridiculous and chick heavy. Yeah. So Steve, yes, I have sent you the link. So please come and join us if you'd like. Um, fashionably late. Fashionably late. Dan Blackbird said it was a battle of the 3D graphics back then. Oh yes, yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. And then budget gaming. Nintendo games still never go on sale. The first party ones, at least. Hmm.
yes,
Well,
that suck.
yeah.
Especially now that the gaming price took a $10 jump, and to right now here in Brazil is that is not a $10 jump, is a $50 jump. So yeah, that sucks.
Oh, well, 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 son of a biatch. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, and go through some of the double picks from the chat. We have Dan Blackroyd. His first pick was Metal Gear Solid. Are you familiar with that, Timon?
Yes, that one. I also uh, I had one of the third game, I believe. I had on PS1
Oh,
or
well,
PS1, no PS2. Uh, is the story is really wild. Is all about war, politics, cyborgs, nano robots. It's quite fun. It's
oh,
really wild, but it's all about fun.
okay. Do you think I would be able to play it? Is it
I
hard?
believe so.
Okay.
Um, It's a person shooter. So
Okay, yeah, I'm not too crazy about those because I'm too girly for that. But um, so I could play it if I wanted that to be that. Okay, well, we are joined here. We are joined here by the man from Norway. Actually, frankly, we are being joined from the future. Timon's only 2 hours in the future, but Stieg is several hours in the future. Welcome to Miss Martin Uses Stieg.
Hello. It is 3 a.m. No, sorry, it's 3:14 a.m. and all is well in the land.
Yay! The world didn't end. Thank you for
Yeah.
letting us know.
And my eyes are half open.
Oh, yay!
I'm squinting like Clint Eastwood, but
oh,
from tiredness.
oh gosh. Well, that's a clever one. Okay, Biggles is saying it's a stealth game can be pretty hard. Yeah, so I don't think that that's Teresa friendly. Yeah, and Dan Blackwood also says Metal Gear Solid is designed to be more stealth based than an action shooter game like most. Understood. Then I would completely suck because I'm noisy.
yeah, but in the end, when you fighting the bosses, you don't go stealth. So yeah, it's kind of you can say it's a 50-50 because if the game was stealth all the way, that you have some way to defeat the bosses without the bosses know that you are there.
Oh,
Every
okay. Are
time
you?
it's like uh, part of the good part of the game. You have to go stealth, you go silence, and then come the bosses. You have to go ramble on them.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well, I like to
that
go
kind of
rando. Yeah. How about you, Stieg? Are you familiar with this game?
I missed the title of the game, so I don't know which one you're talking about.
Metal Gear
Metal
Solid.
Oh,
Metal Gear Solid.
I know what it is, but I never really played them.
Okay. Oh, okay. And Dan Buckward says you can watch the storyline through game cutscenes. Well, there you
Yes.
go. There you are. Well, Stieg, why don't you give us one of your picks for the double pick?
Well, I'm gonna go with the first PC game I ever played. My
Pong.
dad had brought home an old laptop from work, and it had some games on it. And this was the first time I played a story-based game, so I got hooked right away. And it was Lucasfilm's The Secret of Monkey Island from
Oh,
1990.
Oh.
yeah, you've told me. Yeah, you got me to buy it. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it got completely ripped off by the Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Mm.
Uh, the story is basically you play a guy who wants to be a pirate, and he falls in love with a female governor who gets kidnapped by ghost pirates, and he has to get a ship and a crew to sail after her to an island you, that you can only reach by voodoo magic. So tell me that's not the Pirates of the Caribbean 1 movie.
Yes.
Yeah. The reason why is in the 90s they were going to make a movie based on the game, but and a script was written and it was canceled. Later on, the same script writer wrote Pirates of the Caribbean for Disney. So Disney has been ripping off the old Lucasfilm since before they bought it.
Oh, shameless, shameless.
But the game is a point and click adventure game. You have the main screen, and then you have some verbs that you use as commands, basically. You know, pick up, open, use, stuff like that. And you gather items that you can use to solve puzzles to advance the story. Like, you have to get into the governor's mansion to steal something, and there's poodles outside that scares the main character, so you need to find something to get past the poodles. In this case, you have to find a flower and use it on a ham so that you drug the ham and toss it to the poodles to put them to
Oh,
sleep. And you even get a warning in the game that no animals were harmed during the production of the game. So the SJWs didn't lose their minds. But oh, and you have insult sword fighting in it. You need to learn comebacks for insults.
ooh.
So while you do sword fighting, they'll insult you. If you don't know the comeback, they'll basically press you backwards and then until you lose.
Oh.
So you have to become a sword master by learning all the insult comebacks. And the insults, I believe, were written by Orson Scott Card, who wrote the Ender's Game.
Ooh.
So he contributed with insults for a video game, which is rather unique.
So very well written insults.
Yeah, and the game is amazing. It's a 10 out of 10. It's adventure humor game. No action whatsoever. It's all dialogue and puzzle solving.
Ah. Well,
It
you know,
was
it's.
re-released
Oh no, go ahead, Timon.
recently, right?
What?
It was re-released recently, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
like with
well,
an
about 10
HD
years ago.
remaster.
Yeah, there's a remake, but and they added voice acting to it and all, but fun part, the main villain, LeChuck, was a ghost pirate, later turns into a zombie pirate, but he is voiced by Earl Bowen, who plays the Shrink in the Terminator movies.
Oh.
Yeah, um,
Oh, okay.
but the special edition, which is the remake, uh, the character models are awful in it. It looks like they just glide across the screen. Uh, the backgrounds and the music and all is great, but it's you can switch to the classic view in the special editions, so you'll basically play the original,
Oh.
which is what I did. But yeah, for me that one is a 10 out of 10. Um, with nostalgia glasses on, objectively I'd say an 8. But yeah, Secret of Monkey Island. Go play it. They have it on Steam and GOG.
Oh. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, and I was able to get it on my Xbox too.
Oh yeah. It's available for consoles too.
Mm-hmm. Though it was intended as a PC game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only point and click the adventure that I played was Sam and Max. It has
Sam and
the
Max had a bunch of games, also
yeah,
by Lucasfilm. They
yeah,
did that one right after Day of the Tentacle.
yeah.
It's weird though. Every time I recommend Day of the Tentacle to people, they think it's some kind of, what is it, hentai?
Porn?
It isn't. It's a humor game. It's a time travel game.
The thing with Sam and Max is that it's almost impossible to know what to use, where to use, because the connections of the puzzles are sometimes stupid as hell.
Yeah. Well, which Sam and Max was it? Is it the one where they're traveling around the United States?
Yes,
Sam and Max
yes,
Hit the Road, I think it's called.
yes.
Yeah, that's the first one, and
Sometimes you have
it's
to,
a fun one.
yeah, you have to put, oh, you have to pass a guard or something, and you actually have to buy um, s- not in this particular game. I played the I have the collection, I believe, and you have to buy coffee at some place so that the smell attracts the guard, and a lot of crazy stuff. Sometimes you have to have three items in a puzzle, and they work in a way to let you get to someplace else. It's almost impossible to actually go and try to discover the puzzle with reason.
Yeah, they had some weird ones in the second Monkey Island game as well. You have to start a water pump at the top of a waterfall to basically stop the waterfall,
Huh.
which is dumb in the pirate area. But you basically need a wrench, and there's no wrench, but you can pick up a monkey and use that one as a monkey wrench.
Oh,
So yeah, which was it's a good pun, isn't it? But
yes.
yeah, those games did have stuff like that, But usually you'll when you're stuck, you'll just end up trying stuff you haven't tried, and eventually
You try to
you'll
use everything.
yeah. So yeah, that's my first game, The Secret of Monkey Island. If you haven't played it, give it a go. It's actually fun,
Well, well, excellent. And
and
what is your second? Oh, sorry.
you can't die in. Well, actually, you can. The guy can hold his breath for 10 minutes because he boasts about that, but you get tossed into the ocean at one point, and if you just leave the game on for 10 minutes, he dies.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only way you can die in the game, on purpose.
Well, that's
So,
dark.
well,
You can commit suicide.
yeah.
No. Yep. Istig, my pledge to you is I will get this game played before my birthday. How's that?
Okay, groovy.
Yeah. All right. So, what is your second pick?
I don't know. Uh, you know what? I'm gonna go with The Witcher 3.
Ah. Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
great one.
Yeah, it's very open world, and unlike Skyrim and the other games, every time you enter a building or something, the game doesn't load. You
Oh.
just open the building and walk in. Same with caves and everything else. So everything is open. You, you yeah, you never load when you enter anything.
Huh.
But what stands out though is the gritty atmosphere and uh, and all that of the setting, because it's really dark, but it also has a lot of humor. But I think this game, since it's very story driven, it's probably the best written game I've ever played, because even small missions that you do can affect things down the road, because every mission has several ways to solve them, you know, several endings, I guess. And well, speaking of game over, here's Matt Wilkins. How's your joystick doing, sir?
Matt says Stieg knows video games? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I do indeed. Yeah, The Witcher. Insane writing. It's great. It's uh, at one point you fight someone at a bar. If you wish to, you could also defuse the situation. But if you fight them, I noticed that when I killed one of them by beheading him, the waitress in the background puked at the sight. And later on in the game, when you enter a theater, someone stands up and yells "murderer" in the crowd, and it's the waitress from the bar from earlier, way
Oh.
earlier in the game. So it has consequences all through. And if you don't do things right with with Siri, actually, was at the heart of the story, then she can die at the end, and so can you.
Yes.
So
The bad ending.
yeah, and a lot of the larger quests too has several endings.
The
One
Chrome
involving
story is really fucked up. There is no good ending.
with the Baron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you can have
gold
an
Chromes.
okay ending, but yeah, and the one with Kira Metz as a sorceress. Uh, if you let her leave to go to the city, the next time you see her, she's impaled on a spike and burning at the town square,
Holy
and
moly.
you lose out on an
Oh,
ally. So
yeah.
yeah, The Witcher 3, beaten it um, probably 3 or 4 times. And it also has Gwent, a very addictive in-game card game, and you can collect cards through the game by buying cards for your decks or winning special cards from other players, stuff like that. From other card players, I mean, not
Did you
actual
play in
players.
Did you play Throne Breaker? I believe.
No, I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
It's
Oh,
quite puzzling.
Hmm.
Sometimes you have is a Gwent. All the battles you play is a Gwent battle. So sometimes because of the how the stories plays out, you have this battle the enemy starts with three towers, and you have to burn the tower so that you can your characters your cards can attack those
Yeah,
kind of things. Really
that's pretty
really
cool.
interesting.
huh. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I have that one, and I have something called The Witcher: The Adventure Game, which looks to be like a board game, which I also haven't played, but I got it for free on GOG, I believe. But
Nice.
yeah, The Witcher 3, 10 out of 10.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
yeah. That is also one that I have purchased, and I will play eventually. I do appreciate the lore behind all of it, and I have seen some clips that Steek has recommended to me to just some of the action, and it is amazing. It is, and good music and very good production skills to it all.
Also fun to just explore because I think they said the Witcher world, if you take all the areas you can travel to in the main game, is 10 times as big as Skyrim.
Damn.
And then you get an expansion pack with another huge area. So all in
two
all, it's
two
probably
expansion
yeah,
two expansion. One
yeah,
one is a Blood and Stones, is a smaller one, and the other one is
Blood and Wine, which adds a whole
yes.
new, very large area. So all in all, it's probably 12 or 15 times as big as Skyrim in terms of map.
Holy crap.
I wish they release they remake Witcher 1 and 2 in the same uh, engine as Witcher 3, because I've
Yeah,
seen,
well,
yeah, I've seen the first two games. They're really ugly and clunky.
the second one doesn't look bad at all. I mean, it looked way better than other games released at that time. But
And
the
people
first
always says
one,
they are really like a lot of fetch quest.
yeah, the first one is almost all fetch quests. Because I beat the first one last year, and the combat is shit. Uh, it's extremely repetitive in terms of quests because it's basically go there, kill that, and return. That happens a lot in that game. And then, but the story is great and the setting is great. So
If
it's
you
it's fun.
compared the first two with three, maybe they could release the first two in one game alone,
Yeah,
uh, and then like say it's a prequel to the three to the third one. And I believe people would buy that like water
oh
in the
yeah,
desert.
yeah. Even the inventory in the first two games is a mess. Um, the second one though, the gameplay was a lot better, and yeah, the graphics are not bad, but The Witcher one has aged way worse. You know,
Mm.
that one was it was a struggle to get through that one, just simply due to the gameplay.
Oh, well, as I said, I don't know a lot about this, but I'm fascinated listening to you talking about it. And
Oh, it's also definitely a role playing game made for adults because
I know
there's
where you're
F
going.
bombs in it. There's racism. There's nudity.
Actual F in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. You can rent a hooker and you get a sex scene.
And
wow.
the question, which is your girl of choice?
I just always go with Yennefer because that fits the it fits with the with the books and all the
Yes.
canon, I guess.
Yeah. Now, is the video game faithful to the story that you'll find in the books?
Yes,
Mm,
way more than the TV
oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's yes.
this game basically is a continuation of the books, and I'm not going to say how because that would spoil the whole damn story for the TV show if they follow the books. But it follows the books perfectly in terms of what happens in the books. It is not canon though because it's not written by the writer, but I think most people consider it to be their canon because
It's the game is more famous than the book.
yeah,
So
I had not heard of the books before the game came out at all.
same.
Oh, well,
My choice of girl is also Yennefer, but only because she looks like Miranda from Mass Effect, and Miranda is uh, based on Yvonne Strahovski. So
Yeah, they used her face
yeah,
and voice,
hmm,
which is kind of back when Mass Effect came out, the conservative part of the world, including Fox News, lost their minds because there was a 5-second clip of a female ass in it, and they said this would damage the kids and all that. This is
yeah.
porn in a video game. Uh, that five
They
second
yeah,
scene
and they
was
they didn't
optional.
even show the sex scene. They
No,
complain about the PG-13 scenes.
yeah, and now when they did the remake, uh, the very liberal BioWare and their fans were cheering for the removal of the butt scene.
Yeah,
So it's come full circle. It's now the liberals that hate the butt
but
scene they defended
no,
12
it's
years ago.
assholes with power.
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's weird because you could see it. Fox News had they had it on their channel. How horrible that butt scene was, and they were bashing it and blah blah blah. And now it's channels like CNN and the liberal part of the world
yeah. Well,
has
deep down, maybe
taken the opposite stance and that they had back then, and now the butt scenes are bad.
yeah. Well, because it's all about power. It was never really about principle or freedom of speech or freedom of
Yeah, it was a power
expression.
butt.
It was a power butt.
She did squats.
Oh well, hey, speaking of squats, I did some serious squats today. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but I digress. But, well, these are the
I
new
I did
purists.
too. I was sleeping, so I did diddly squats.
Oh gosh, we knew that was coming. We knew that was coming. No, but I was at Pilates and we were doing squats like against the wall, these little weight things or something. I don't know. Whatever I do, whatever they tell me to do. Um, Jacob says I'd go for the redhead Trish Marigold. Okay, I don't.
Yeah, she's in the show as well.
Okay.
She was
She
race
was
swapped.
race swapped. Jinx.
Oh, so that's why I
But
didn't know her as the redhead.
here's the thing: the show did her hair color right because in the show follows the books, and in the books she is a brunette. They only made her a redhead in The Witcher 2 and 3 to make it look different from Yennefer.
Oh,
So in the first game, she actually has brown hair, which is correct. And she has brown hair in the books too. So when people go, yeah, they killed off another redhead, right? No, they didn't actually. She's supposed to be a brunette.
well,
But
as
a
it's,
white brunette, not a
Yeah.
black one.
the more you know. Yeah. Oh, Jacob says it's all about the butts. It's all about the
Yeah.
butts.
Yeah. So, if you pirate games, you need a crack for them, right?
Okay. Anything you want to say about The Witcher 3?
What? I didn't hear anything.
Oh, anything else you want to say about The Witcher 3? Anything final before we go on to some more of the chat's double picks?
Uh, get it and play it if you haven't. Uh, that's it.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Probably not.
Oh. Uh, okay, we've already gone through Dan Blackroyd's Metal Gear Solid. That was his first pick. And his second pick was The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. My mother played all of those before her eyesight got too bad that she just couldn't. She loved Zelda. So I would sit and just watch her play it. I didn't know what was going on. And I love the music, though. Dun, 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 dun.
The Zelda franchise, until the last ones or last three ones, it was one of those franchises like Pokemon, like is the Nintendo releases one with a different name, but it's almost is the same game ever since the first one.
Oh. Oh.
You change a little bit. You have to get instead of uh, three. I don't know, magical triangles. You have to get four special seeds. It's always the same game that sometimes I don't know how the Nintendo fans like how they why they buy. It's like the sport game, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when every single year they have a new game that is the same game as the previous one, but people, I don't know why the fuck they still buy them.
Yeah. Well, they could be a sucker like me who will buy every single variation of Skyrim for the next 90 years. Yeah. Did you ever play Zelda, Steek?
No,
No.
I never had a Nintendo. Um, I did play some Nintendo games at a friend's place, but mostly Super Mario, Duck Hunt, and what was it, Nintendo World Cup.
Mm.
Other than that, well, I did play some on a Nintendo emulator for the PC,
Huh.
but never got into Zelda. No.
Oh. Well, there you go. Yeah. I used to always read because my mom could never read, because she can't see words. So that's how I would know Zelda. I would just sit and read it to her while she was moving around the guy, but I had no idea. But um, a lot of the little people in my life, my nephew especially, really liked Zelda. He loved playing Zelda, and he went as Link once for Halloween. It was so cute.
Today you can buy or you can download any Nintendo emulators and download all the Nintendo games anywhere in the corners of the internet. You even have some uh, like Raspberry Pis or some type of mini consoles that have all Nintendo's games ever played. If I'm correct, I bought one. My father bought one for my nephew some Christmas ago. He had all the games from the Super Nintendo and all the games from the PlayStation in one tiny box.
Huh.
He doesn't play at all.
Oh.
Yeah, he plays those stupid Roblox games that you do is worse than Minecraft. Those
Oh
I
dear.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what is wrong with this new generation.
Yeah, they're the same generation that uses D&D version 5 or whatever it's called. The That's a generational thing that's going on in my family right now. Dan Blackroyd says the gameplay jumps between consoles change. The gameplay jumps between consoles change up quite a lot of the aspects of Zelda SNES and N64. N64 was a big jump. The later games expanded a lot. I'm not sure what that means, but that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's basically the same game.
Okay. Oh, okay, Biggles is saying 5th edition. Yes, yes. We can't convince my nephew to not
Fifth
use that.
edition is not D&D. It isn't. It was designed to basically be uh, World of Warcraft on paper, because all the role playing is gone. It's been replaced with the role you play during combat, which
Yeah.
is very World of
Mm.
Warcraft ish. So um, you have about half the skills that you used to have in D&D. They just simplified it and dumbed it down. You don't get skill points between levels anymore that you put into your character, and yeah, it plays like a very simplified World of Warcraft, and they also fucked up the lore in all their settings.
Yeah,
Mm.
and now you can go to the prom. You can have the dungeons with wheelchair access.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
and
that's not
that's
in
they
world though.
yeah. Here's the fun part. This happened with the fourth edition, I think, but they added a classic Tolkien-ish elf race called the Eladrin, and I mean it's basically Eldarin, but they switched the letters around. That's all they did. It's lazy as shit. So they ripped off Tolkien by just changing a few letters.
Oh, that's shameful. Biggle says, unfortunately, that is what we play, but 2nd edition for Pathfinder just came out, and we are switching to that next campaign, I think. It,
Yeah, that's Pathfinder in their wokeness decided to remove all references to slavery in their game, and retroactively that fucked up the whole lore of the Pathfinder game world, because a lot of the nations were built on slavery, but now they removed all references to it, so nothing makes sense anymore.
I'm glad.
So basically, everything you buy that is kind of new is pure woke shit.
Yeah. Well, and just because something has slavery, that doesn't mean it's good. I mean, it's
No, I
slavery is
mean,
a fact of life, and it's part of stories. I mean, I'm thinking, surely they haven't done that to Conan yet, have they?
I don't know who owns the rights to Conan at the moment, but in well, Conan does it right given the Conan setting. I mean, you can even in the inventory stuff in the rules book, uh, you have the costs for slaves in there if you want to buy them
Yikes.
and use them as an army. So or for other things,
Yeah.
but so they stuck to the source material.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
the one we're playing is called the second edition Conan, which is pretty much the same as 3.5 edition D&D, but
the
with way
best
more,
edition.
yeah, but with way more gritty realism, I guess.
okay, yeah. Well, and just because something's in there, I mean, it's just the same way. Some people used to think that if you played D&D, you'd become like a real necromancer or something. It's just because slavery is within a world in which you are playing. That doesn't mean you're going to become this horrible
I
slave
mean,
owner.
it's a fantasy role playing game. How will that even work if you remove evil?
Oh, precisely. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, we need to have that. Uh, Dearest, loveliest Zelda, I see what you
Mhm.
did there. Well done, Jacob. Well done. He turned that in from a Mr. Darcy quote.
They even removed the race the race characteristics in the
Oh yeah, fifth
in D and
edition.
D.
You don't get penalties uh,
Elves
when you pick a
used to
race.
have
So
+2 in dexterity and -2 in constitution, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
and the
And now
halflings.
now everyone is zero, and no pluses,
Yeah,
no
yeah, and you just get
losses.
bonuses.
Yeah,
Yeah, the halflings had a strength penalty because they're small,
yeah,
right? So they wouldn't be as strong as a half orc when you
Yeah.
start off. But now that's removed because it's offensive.
Yeah. And it's like they just are. Then that was just part of the gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or not gameplay. I mean, role play. Maybe they don't call it quite gameplay.
yeah. I
Where
mean,
is
you know, Frodo Baggins shouldn't be able to beat the big Uruk-hai at arm wrestling just
yeah,
because it shouldn't be offensive.
sure?
You know,
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, he's smaller. That's the whole
yeah.
point. Thank you, John Pico. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for giving a subscribe and a like. And thank you, Ancient One, for sharing my channel. He says right now I'm doing homework with music notes.
No,
I'll
the musician tuned in.
subscribe and drop like. Well, I'm hoping it's music homework because I am a musician and I'm a music mistress. I am a hard taskmaster, but you will get results with me. Let's see. Says Bigglesmet says Frodo can win with a nat 20. Oh no.
Nat 20 does not apply to skills, only attacks.
Yeah. Well, but maybe it does now. I don't know the way it works. If being small offends people, if they
if your
um
attack is a D4, a nat 20 will only get you depending of the rule, an 8.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still it's still low.
Okay. Dan Blackward, he did explain to what he was talking about, and thank you, Dan. I do appreciate this. I'm a neophyte. He says the story stays basically the same, but the game mechanics change over games. The older games were mostly just ports between the other handhelds and consoles, so they mostly all felt the same. What he
Yes.
said.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's talking about the Zelda.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and he was clarifying. I think something that I asked because I didn't understand. He put it in Teresa language for me, and understand when I say I'm a hard taskmaster. I'll just say this: Can you improvise? Can you improvise in Dorian mode? That's the kind of taskmaster I'm talking about. I obviously, um,
Budget gaming is right with this, with what he says. It's that the orcs aren't evil anymore,
mhm.
and neither are the dark elves, which are from Norse mythology, actually. Orcs are from Roman mythology, from Orcus, who is from the underworld, I believe.
Mhm.
Yes.
So they took stuff from mythology, stuff that was evil, was turned into evil creatures in D&D. You
Hmm.
know, because they're
Yeah.
familiar to people who
Like
have read.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you've heard, but the new God of War game, uh, it will be a sequel to, uh, I believe it will call God of War Ragnarok, and deity that's supposed to be one of the wives of Loki is now black.
Um.
oh yeah, I'm sure they've done stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, they have Black Valkyries in the Marvel ones too. Granted, the Marvel ones aren't really based on the mythology, though.
Yeah,
It's
they're
just
most likely aliens than
yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
So I don't have any
But
problems with that. But remember when they said Loki was gender fluid because that fit with the mythology?
Mm,
So okay, they're following the mythology then. So why is Heimdall black? He's
yeah.
described in the myth
yeah,
as the palest of the gods.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well,
they
And
stick
are they
they use it
going?
as an argument if they can gain from it, but then
Are they going to show Loki having sex with a horse? So
I don't know.
became
Depends
he,
which.
I believe he becomes a mare and had sex with an horse, and then he births Sleipnir. If I'm
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like When it was done, he's like, "Oh crap! It was supposed to be having sex with a Norse, not a horse."
Well, I mean, and it's not. I don't think it's racist to say. I mean, go figure. You go to a Scandinavian country or someone with Scandinavian lineage, they're gonna be pasty white. It's just the way it is. You know, it's
Yeah,
the same way if you go to Africa, you're gonna see people with dark skin. It's not
we we have a
racist.
lot of Africans now and
Yeah,
Asians as well, and Middle Easterns and all that stuff, same as every other country. But back then, during the Viking era, they hadn't even discovered America yet.
yeah,
They thought the world was flat.
yeah,
And yeah, there were no people from Zimbabwe in Norway at the time.
yeah. They
They didn't
barely
even
discovered
know they
Africa.
didn't even know Africa was there.
Yeah,
You know,
At tops, they would have some German Franks slave from
Irish.
the
yeah. Irish
Irish,
and
from the
English.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
people
definitely Irish.
that
yeah. We
they
big
raided.
time enslaved the Irish.
Because the Irish can't buy a break no matter where or who's oppressing them.
No,
Yeah, and but they founded all the cities, and that's why I can do archaeological work when I go to Ireland. It's fun.
And they gave us the word kiosk.
That is true. That is true. Um, yes. Let me see. Wow, loads of people coming in. Hello, Studio PLKs. Ancient One's been well. Thank you, Ancient One. Thank you so much for helping me out here. And we got a 20 like hype rather. Thank you. And OG Star Wars is here saying hi. Hello. Please, everyone, if you are here, please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Maybe you'll like some of the things you'll see. Budget Gaming says, I can't wait to see all the white characters added to African mythology. Precisely.
oh, if anyone does that,
But they
there's
did
gonna be an
in
uproar.
the I believe it was Egyptian gods of Egypt. The movie with um,
Gerald
Gerard
Butler.
Butler. Yeah, he plays Seth. They have some. Most of the pantheon was white, and they bitch and moan about that every way from Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Well, and of course, yes,
Even
you would
yeah,
have some
even
of
though
that. You would
yeah,
have
even
some of
though
that.
the Egyptian people are way more like um, the Arabs and Middle Easterners
Yes.
than really about people from Central Africa.
Yes.
Cleopatra was white. She was of Macedonian descent.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not that simple. Yeah. But ultimately, yes, it's true that it usually doesn't go the other way. Um, we've all seen the meme where it says like Matt Damon is Black Panther. You know, it's absurd. Or plays Nelson Mandela. It
yeah.
it just basically boils down to it's like just be true to the
Well,
characters. We have so many ridiculous things going on right now. Like now, the 50 Shades of Grey chick allegedly can't play a blind person because she's not blind. It's like, come on.
yeah, and
The
you know, one of the
Madam Web,
people
I
who,
believe
sorry,
the game the character she was hired to play was Madam Web from Spider-Man.
yeah, and
Because
They complain she's not blind yet she's like 30 years old, while Madam Web is an old lady like in the 70s or in the 80s.
yeah,
yeah,
But no, blindness is the problem.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
and one of the people who screams very loudly about stuff like this is Madonna. Well,
ugh.
she won an Oscar for playing Evita.
Yeah, I was about to say she's not Latina.
Yeah,
Nope.
She's Italian.
Yep.
Well, she's an American of Italian descent.
but you will probably hear no Argentinian complaining about that because they are kind of a little bit of stuck up. I don't know if you've heard in I believe it was last year, their president says that The Mexicans came from the desert. The Brazilians came from the jungle, and we Argentinians came from the ships. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Argentinians, what he failed to mention that is that a lot of them are of German descent, and not the good kind.
I was about ready to
yeah,
say, yeah. Oh, and I am well aware that the population where I live, there is a lot of rivalry and bad feelings, if you will, between. I mean, you've got the Mexicans, Puerto Rico, Cuban, Argentinian, not so much Brazilian, Colombia, Ecuador, but I think they're all unified that they all think Argentines are snobs. Argentinos,
yes,
rather. They all
it's
don't like
it's a very
Argentinos.
common belief here in South America. I'm known people from Paraguay, people from Chile, from Colombia, from Uruguay. No one likes the the
Yeah.
Argentinians.
But let me make this clear. Here at Miss Martin Muses, I like the Argentinos. Okay, you know what I mean? I know I'm fine with everybody. Everyone is welcome at Miss Martin
So
Muses. But
basically, Argentina is the Sweden of South
oh,
America.
great. Thank you, Steve. Just great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We have an old joke here that although an old saying that the best deal in the world is to buy an Argentinian from what he is worth and sell from what he thinks he's worth.
Oh
Hmm.
no. Okay, the views and things expressed by the people on Miss Martin Muses do not necessarily reflect. But well, I'll tell you all I know about really about um, Argentinos. Gosh, now Argentina is just don't go to a soccer game there. I mean, I have friends that even say even now she won't. She lives in Buenos Aires, and
Yes,
she will never go to a football match. She will always
is
watch it on television.
it's really worse than here. Here we in the 90s we have a lot of violence in the soccer games, but nowadays is some few cases here and there. But in Argentina you have the what they call the Barra Bravas that is like the hooligans of the UK
From the 80s,
times,
70s, and
yeah,
80s. Yeah.
times 100.
Oh damn! Oh
Yeah,
gosh!
no, they are way worse.
Wow. Well, yeah, I know you don't go to a soccer match in Argentina. I know that much, but dang. And you're speaking from Brazil where things can get tense. Things can get tense in Mexico during football matches. Not not as bad though. I mean, Argentina is supposed to be notorious, but I also think that
Here
many of them.
only get here we in the later years we only get real bad, but in like if you have two big how can I say rivals in a final game of a cup of a league, then you can have some trouble. Most of the time, it's just a few, half a dozen assholes just screaming at each other.
Yeah, and they're usually drunk too, so it's just like yeah, whatever. Just be careful. Well, and also I think in many ways, the folks from Argentina aren't too crazy about the musical Evita because it it's not necessarily accurate, and some Brit trying to tell their a story about the politics and all that in a musical form.
Yeah,
It-
but the Argentinians doesn't care about accuracy. They won a World Cup with a goal made Maradona made with his hand, so they don't care much about that.
yeah. Well, that too, yeah. All right, Mr. Brown, I believe he has since gone to sleep, being from the future too. He has a game, what, GoldenEye N64, Nintendo
It's a
64.
Bond game. You
Mhm.
could play it 4 players on the same screen,
Is
or
the
rather, the
adaptation of the
screen would.
movie.
Yeah, it was split, but the main game followed the movie, kind of. But people bought it for the multiplayer because back
Oh,
then, multiplayer quite often meant you're sitting in the couch with a bunch of friends, playing split screen shooters and whatever,
And you
which
have
was
to have the small hub with the to multiply the ports for the controller.
yeah. I think you could do that with Duke Nukem as well, um, on the N64, and yeah,
oh,
that
well,
was
there.
kind of the selling point for the consoles back in the day, that it was designed for couch play with friends, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
But now it's just everything's just it's about online, which is a
online
bit sad
multiplayer.
because playing
Yeah,
a split screen games with a friend was awesome. Uh, Me and my brother-in-law has played through all of the Gears of War games uh, co-op, because they're one of the few series that lets you play two-player split screen through the story.
playing
So
a
it's
race
been a
game,
tradition.
a race game against each other with the split screen was
Oh hell
really
yes, that
hard.
was great fun.
Yeah. Do you know Top Gear? The game, not the show.
Now people seem to think though that my name is from Top Gear. It
oh,
isn't.
I
It's
can see
no,
why.
it's not.
yeah. Stieg is my actual name. It's. I'm not a Top Gear fan.
Yeah. Well, that's a very common name in your
Yeah,
country,
yeah. One
so.
of the most common names.
Does it have a meaning?
It means wanderer.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm a ranger from the north.
Yes. Not all who wander are lost.
No, some are
My
just dead
name,
tired.
Wait, what did you say, Sneak?
I said some are just dead tired all the time.
so I have two, three names: first name, second name, and surname. My first name is an Italian name, means from. It means from fava bean, is where the names came. My second name is French. It means warrior. So basically, I am the fava bean warrior.
You're Mr. Bean.
Did you
Yeah.
say fava bean, like as in Hannibal Lecter with a fine Chianti?
Yes.
You ate his liver.
That's fava bean.
A fava bean warrior. Hey,
So he
those are
has
the
a.
And
worst kind of
So he's a
and
warriors.
warrior, and he has a
my surname
slingshot
is
for frozen
is
beans as ammo.
yeah. My surname is the actual Portuguese name, and it actually means where it doesn't have a like a, oh, it means no. It's my surname is Pessoa, which means people. It has no other meaning. It's what it means.
Oh, well, well, there you go. Well, cool. Well, we're having some people pop in. We're actually starting to wind down, but hello, OBG70 and Salty Texas C. Thank you for being here. And thank you. My mod Keck has gone to bed, and, or at least he's going. We don't know if he's gone to bed or not. And many of our people from the future are doing the same. Well, this has been lots of fun. I've learned a lot. That's one of the things I love about the double pick is it's often things I don't have a lot of expertise in, and these are things that I can pursue and maybe understand a little bit better. So I love the suggestions that have been coming in the chat, and thank you to my panelists, to Timon and Stikno, because you all really know your crap, and that's fun. And I really did enjoy sharing with you all my big, great love affair with Skyrim. I love it. I love it more than anything else, and I still can't stop playing it. But I will play another game. Yeah, Steve, you missed my love letter to Skyrim.
Yeah, told you you'd like it.
Yes, yes. Um, Ancient One says I have a surprise coming, a big surprise. And you know what? I did give you credit for it. I did tell you that. Well, not only did you have me buy Skyrim, but you had me buy the Xbox as well,
Yeah, and Day of the Tentacle.
and Day of the Tentacle as well. Yes, 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 and many, many books. So, oh, there is a raid. Oh, that's my big surprise. Well, oh my gosh. Ancient One, that is so sweet. We are having a raid. Well, welcome. Welcome all of you raiding from Wesley. Wesley X. Okay. Uh Ancient One, please put his link in the chat so I can, say thanks and all that. I definitely do appreciate you all coming in here to Miss Martin Muses, where we've been talking about our double picks, different video games. And we will probably be revisiting this as I go through the cycle of life. And next time around, we'll do it more categories. I didn't think about it until after I'd already planned it. That maybe we could do it like platform games or role playing games or
Racing games.
thank you, racing games, sports games, open world games, all of those different genres, if you will. Arcade games, that'll be a lot of fun. Gosh, I think all of us are old enough that arcade games were a thing. Like where you'd go to the arcade with your quarters and play those games.
Oh yeah.
And
We had arcade here, but it was not. Well, you have to be at least 16 to get in.
oh,
So, though I know of the games and say I was never in arcades that much. Here is more like a high schooler thing. And by
oh,
the time I was in high school, arcades wasn't a thing anymore.
oh, I
So
see.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
I wasted quite a few coins on arcade games back in the day, but less so than most, I think, because I had a Commodore 64, and that one had ports to most of the arcade games, right? So I was
Oh.
just playing it in
yeah.
my parents' living room with friends instead.
Oh.
Same with the Super Nintendo. You could play uh, Turtles in Time. You can play Street Fighter. Have the same games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, well, well. There you go. Yeah, I think that I'm just a few. I know I'm a few years older, at least in Steeg. So I think I was just there where arcade games really were a thing. Like before we got things like the Nintendo, all we really had was Atari. And we didn't really have those arcade games necessarily with it. So we would have to go to the arcade if we wanted to play like Pac Man or some of these other games.
It's true what they say though. The consoles killed the arcades.
Yes, they
Did
did.
because you got the arcades
Yes.
into the living room instead. You know,
Hmm.
but you know,
Yeah.
I understand that. You know,
Yeah. And as far as the
it's not
age
like
thing,
some evil was happening.
no, it's just the way of technology. And what you're saying, Timon, about like it being for kid where you had an age limit at your time, the way it was in America, and it would be when I would come back on home leave because I was also in Ireland at the time, is like during the daytime was like the kid kind of time. And then there would be like the nighttime, where it'd be like more in the bars or, where the mall might have been closed down, but the arcade would have been open. So that's kind of how they divided it up. But yeah, good times. But that's another example. Yeah. Jacob Ironside says, Teresa, you should have a Jane Austen stream. Well, yeah, we will. We I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen, but I also think it's pretty clear that it most likely will not include the two gentlemen on my panel right now. Timon has already said his lack of knowledge and will for it, and I completely understand. It would also be a girls' night. It would also be a girls' night, but I think it would be fun, and I think we should because there's a lot to be said about these Jane Austen things. I think that there's a reason why they're considered masterpieces, and there's a reason why women still love these stories, even though they're
If you
200
make
years
a
old.
clickbait video about masterpieces, it will be masturbate.
Oh my gosh, Steve. Why?
No bait, right?
I know, I got them. I understood what you said. I'm just
What
like,
did you think I was saying?
oh, I know what you were saying, and that's the thing. You're not even gonna. You're not even. You're not even. I'm not even going there with you tonight. He's trying to get me to say a dirty word, and I'm not going to say it.
Hmm.
Oh, Ancient One says 586 subs so far, only 14 more to go. Oh, wow, that's great news. I jumped up at a lot of subs this evening, and I think I have you to thank for it a lot, Ancient One. Ancient One, you are the best. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, and I do appreciate all these new faces I've been seeing all evening. Obviously, I know lots of people like video games, and I'm really glad that you all enjoyed this and came in and out of the chat. Jacob Ironside says, if they like women, they should give Ancient Austen a shot. Yes, yes. Well, I've always said, if you are a heterosexual male, actually, if you're a homosexual male, either way, if you are a male, Jane Austen movies are your gateway to get laid, period. It's a fact. And that's all I'll say about that. Very, very, but they're well written. They're well written. It's not like 50 Shades of Stupid Gray. I mean, my gosh.
Wait a minute. Jane Austen, is that the Mr. Darcy thing?
Yes, yes, she wrote Pride and Prejudice, where Mr. Darcy comes from.
Hmm.
Yes, she wrote Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, all the great ones. Yeah. She's responsible for Mr. Darcy, Mr. Knightley, Colonel Brandon, all the men we want to have sex with that aren't real. And they all have big houses. They all have mansions. Because that's a thing.
Roy Thomas, I believe. She has big things too.
Oh, no. But yeah, I digress. Well, thank you, Ancient One. We are going to go ahead and end the stream. This has been so much fun. Timon, I don't know if you're appearing on any other streams, if there's anything you wanted to plug while you were here.
I'll still be modding on Team Open Airlock Policy channel. I believe we have Friday. I'm not sure. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday we have a stream. I'll be there in the chat.
Ah, well, thank you. Thank you. And before we go to Stieg, Dan Blackroyd has some great advice for all you men that want to take the Cliff Notes. It only takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Just listen to the Kate Bush song if you want a crash course on Emily Bronte. And yes, I know what you're talking about. It's a song called Wuthering Heights. Or Wuthering Heights. Heathcliff, it's me, Kathy. I've come home. I'm
Withering
so cold.
Tights.
Sorry?
I said Withering Tights.
Withering Tights, no. I love that song. Let me in your window. I actually can sing that song, but I need to be standing up and letting my diaphragm do the work. It's a beautiful song, by the way. But yes, you will get the plot of Wuthering Heights in there. Okay. And okay, since you're going to end it, Miss Ray, do you wish to raid someone? I do have a raid target in mind. If you're interested, you don't have to. Yeah, go ahead. I have time to do a raid, and this time, hopefully, my computer won't crash like it did last time. Go ahead and put one in there, just so long as it's not.
Raid Ben Shapiro.
He's not screaming. Yeah. Okay, Steve, where can we find you?
Right here tomorrow. Because you and I and Lady Gravemaster will be doing the second or third, what is it, Fantasy Tavern?
Yes, it is.
Yes, and we will be talking about Indiana Jones, the whole franchise.
Yes.
And Wednesday, I'll be on Jade Shadow's channel for the Cringe Factory, which will hurt me for a few days because what we talk about really is cringe.
It
Um,
it takes away
basically,
your will to live.
it's basically 3 or 5 things that are complete, dumbass takes in pop culture. Um, and you know how I feel about dumbasses. Um, yeah. Oh, Gravemaster and I will most likely be doing our second 80s stream uh, this week. It's called the Blockbuster Archives. Last time we did 1980, and we each of us watched a movie from 1980 that we gave the other to watch, and then we reviewed them, and we also talked about some of the major events in 1980. And the next episode will be 1981. And she got me to watch Dragon Slayer, and I got her to watch
Nice.
Das Boot. So we will be reviewing those two and talking a little bit about 1981. And in March, we'll do 1982.
Nice. I'll tell you what. I was on an airplane when this was going on, and I had the time of my life. It was one of the most fun ones I listened to in a long time. This is really good material that Steeg and Lady Gravemaster are doing.
Well, thank you. I'll pass the message to Gravy.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, and it's
But it,
true.
it, it
It's
really doesn't get as good as 1985, because that when I came into existence.
oh, oh, 85.
I have a. Do you want some Steve Kenobi trivia?
Yes.
I have 80s movie trivia. My birth date, or rather the day I was born, May 12th, is the same day the Terminator and Kyle Reese arrives in 1984 in the Terminator.
It's
Nice.
true.
Yeah, I'll take that one. That's a cool thing to have on your birthday.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So John Connor was conceived the day after.
Well done, Steeg. You helped save the world.
Yes.
I was gonna say Jacob Ironside is saying if you give a woman lime from James Dobson, they will swoon. It's true, all of it. That's why I say take notes. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think that's it for you this week. Well, unless you're gonna be on my Return of the King. We have my Return of the King Lord of the Rings book discussion on Saturdays. And if Steeg is awake, he usually joins.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, and I've, of course, here on my channel, I've got the Fantasy Tavern tomorrow night and the Lord of the Rings. The triple review will be returning next Tuesday. Yeah, Steeg is John Connor.
I'm the last hope of humanity.
Nah, you're gonna get a 12 gauge in the face.
Yeah, send me some cyborg babes.
All right, we're going to end this. Again, thank you to everyone in my chat. Thank you to everyone on my panel. This was a very fun discussion. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great evening, and be certain to throw a coin to your Witcher.